Hello and welcome to another video from the series learning SQL injection, or better said, solving all of the labs on the Web Security Academy for Swinger in the SQL injection section. Now in this one we're going to do something which is common, which is used, which is loved by all, and that is logging into a system with the administrator without actually knowing the password. So let's just get started. I'm just going to click here to get access to the lab. I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to navigate to Burp Suite. Let me just open the Burp Suite browser where I already have, or it already comes with a built-in proxy that will proxy all the traffic. And we just paste here the URL of our tasks. Okay, so where do we have where do we have the, we have it here. Here we should have the admin. As you can see, I already solved this, so yeah, I know what I'm doing. Um, so the task is, in the login, we go and we try to go in with the administrator. Let me put the interceptor on, so whenever we do the username and password, we see it's going to work. And let's just do something like username and password. And if I do login, I see here we have the username and the password. Now, in the previous video, we saw, or we talked about the fact that when you're doing an SQL injection, or when you're trying to see if a certain field request is vulnerable to SQL injections, one of the things that you want to check is if you can in some way trick the request into thinking parts of it are comments or parts of it are to be ignored, so that you can, well, perform the malicious attack. Now, as again, I'm not saying you should perform. I mean, all what we're doing here is for learning purposes. You're not supposed to do this at all on sites where you do not have a contract with, on sites like this where you're not training. This is not to be done in the real world. You're not a hacker. You're not supposed to hack. So, but coming back to what we're going to do right here. So we know somewhere here we have a vulnerability and we want to exploit it. So how do we do that? Well, we'll need to try and make it so that this part, so the password part, is ignored by the system. And how can we do that? Well, we go into the username and we're just going to try and input the standard format. So we're using single quotes and then minus minus. Minus minus is in general thought to be the start of a comment in SQL. So we apply changes right here, and as you can see, it also changed here. And if I do right now forward, it should, okay, now it says invalid username and password, and that makes sense because I mean, we do not have an admin, sorry, a username that is actually called username here. Let's just try this with administrator, and I don't know, as a password, just to subscribe. Yeah. So put again the interceptor on. We make always sure to have the interceptor on before sending our request. We make login, and we see here we have administrator and subscribe. Now let's try the same as before. I'm going to put it here because I had issues in the past where I put it in the value, and for some reason the encoding wasn't working correctly. Now I put here apply changes. I do forward, and it worked. So as you can see, we are now in. So coming back, we can try and do the same without our interceptor. We just do log out, go back in. We do here administrator and the two dots and password, whatever you want. And we do login, and it works again. So there you have it. This was how you can solve the SQL injection vulnerability for the Web Security Academy. And I hope you liked the video. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one and bye bye.